Everybody is going to see one thing on this Game 5 board. Donovan Mitchell just went nuclear, so the books are going to tax the obvious points market. I am going the other way. Cavs at Pistons, series tied to 2-2, 8 p.m. ET. And I have two props I actually like because they do not need another Mitchell explosion to make sense. This is a small card slate, 2 main plays, 3 price check spots, and 2 passes where the name is better than the number. One play is a workload angle hiding inside the Mitchell game. The other is a defensive event prop where the price matters more than the highlight. And before we get out of here, I will show you the watch list pieces that can move if late Detroit news changes the shape of the game. The whole board today comes down to one rule: do not pay for yesterday's box score. Detroit is back home as a small favorite. The total is around 212.5. Cleveland has tied the series after dropping the first 2 in Detroit, and late injury news can still change the card. If that news moves a number or flips a status, that is exactly the kind of thing I will tag in Discord before tip. Quick thing before the first play: if you want the card I am actually working from tonight, the Moneyline Lab boardroom is linked at the top of the description. That is where I keep the target numbers, past numbers, late news notes, Discord alerts, and the recap after the game. Every play I am putting on the member card goes there. The public video gives the breakdown. The boardroom gives the working card before tip. Enough on that. First prop. Main card play number 1 is Donovan Mitchell over 4.5 rebounds at -114. I want this at -120 or better. And I would start passing if it gets to -135 or moves to 5.5. The case is simple. In this series he has finished with 4, 6, 10, and 5 boards. So he has cleared this exact number in 3 straight games. And the only miss was game 1 by 1 rebound. This is not me buying the 43-point explosion. This is me buying the workload. Mitchell has been in that 35 to 37-minute playoff range. Cleveland needs the ball in his hands, and Detroit's pressure forces him into the middle of the action even when he is not taking the shot. Game 3 was the clearest version of it, 35 points and 10 rebounds, because the Cavs needed him connected to everything. The risk is game shape. If Detroit shoots cleanly and the rebound chances dry up, or if this gets steamed past the target, I will mark the board instead of pretending the same play still exists. Main card play number 2 is Evan Mobley over 2.5 BLK at +110. This is the higher variance play, so I need plus money. If it drops below even money, I am not chasing it. And if the line moves to 3.5, it becomes a different bet. Mobley has been living around the rim in this matchup, and Detroit keeps sending pressure through Cade, Alser, and Duren actions. He had 3 in Game 2 and 5 in Game 4, and the minutes have stayed heavy enough for the defensive event volume to matter. The risk with Mobley is obvious. Defensive stats are noisy. 1 foul stretch, 1 Detroit adjustment, or more 5-out spacing can pull him away from the rim. But I like that the play does not need him to score. It only needs him to stay on the floor, protect the paint, and meet the same drivers Detroit has used all series. That is why this is main card only at the plus price. If that plus price disappears, it is a Discord alert and a board change, not a forced play. Separate note on the number: do not eat a worse price just because the read sounds good. This is where OddsJam is useful. Check Mitchell rebounds and Mobley blocks across books before tip, because one book hanging -114 while another is already at -130 is a real difference over time. The OddsJam link is in the description if you want to line shop it. Alright, back to the rest of the card. The watch list starts with Max Struss over 3.5 rebounds at -125. I like the roll. And his series rebound line has been right around this number: 5 in Game 1, 3 in Game 2, and 4 in Game 4. The problem is that -125 is already a little tight for a role-player rebound prop, so I would rather have -120 or better before making it main card. Jalen Duren over 9.5 rebounds at +105 is live if you believe the game for foul and rotation mess was the outlier, because he had 12 and 10 in the first 2 games. But 2 rebounds in Game 4 is enough to keep me careful. Cade Cunningham over 9.5 assists at +108 is interesting too, especially after 10 assists in Games 2 and 3. But the Pistons' wing news and Cleveland's pressure make it more of a price check spot than a main play. If any of these move from watch list to card, that goes through the boardroom and Discord alerts. The pass list starts with Jalen Duren over 1.5 assists at -146. I understand why it looks Playable because the ball can touch him around the elbows and short roll. But that price is too expensive for a secondary passing prop. The difference between -115 and -146 matters when the player is not the primary creator. I am also not forcing Jarrett Allen points at 12.5, even at plus money, because his scoring path has been too uneven in this series. He can get there if Cleveland feeds the interior, but he can also disappear if the game turns into Mitchell and Mobley carrying the offense. Good names, playable-looking lines, but not clean enough for the main card. Final public board for May 13th. Mitchell over for 0.5 rebounds at -120 or better. Mobley over to 0.5 BLK only at plus money. Watch list on Struss rebounds, Duran rebounds, and Cade assists, and passes on the tax Duran assists price plus Allen points. Before tip, check the number, check late news, and do not turn a good read into a bad bet by chasing a worse price. If you want the final working card, boardroom link is at the top of the description. I will update the member board and Discord if the number, news, or status changes before tip. Keep the units sane, and I will see you on the next slate.